Great awakening, you beautiful brave hearts all around the world. Today, what we're going to talk about is end the Parasite Party with the Perfect Day Protocol. I'm going to play a video, okay, to prove that I've been right about this. And I'm not meaning I'm right. There's just a better way to do things. I keep telling people that if you actually got a perfect day and you repeated that perfect day every day, you're going to have close to perfect health for the rest of your life. But no, you know what we got to do? We are electrical, magnetic, energetic people. We don't even understand. We lower our vibration. The parasites move in, the two-legged ones on the planet, and then the many-legged ones in our body. And understand this, something I've been going on about, talking to people and saying, oh yeah, you can do ivermectin, you can do fenbendazole, but understand something, you are going to kill, okay, the parasites in your body, and you're going to have all these dead soldiers lying around, and then guess what? After you've done ivermectin and fenbendazole, surprise, surprise, thousands of eggs are going to hatch. And then guess what? Now you're right back to where you are. And understand something, when you try to use silver bullet therapy and you use fenbendazole, but mainly ivermectin, guess what? Every time you use it, it doesn't work as good because we're always running to the rescue, just like antibiotics. If you don't believe me, watch this video. And then after the video, I'm going to explain my theory. Rafa, thank you.
Treating your parasites, and then you just decide you're going to stop. You treat it for a month or so and then you stop. Be aware that what you've done is you've killed all the mother worms, the mother parasites, and now the babies are going to hatch out because they keep the babies from hatching out. The mother puts out a hormone or a chemical that keeps the babies from hatching out because they don't want to, they don't want to be overrun themselves. I guess it's a self-protective mechanism. You can't just stop. If you decide to take ivermectin, for example, okay, and this is a problem. If you take an anti-parasitic drug for whatever reason, and then you suddenly stop, you may suddenly have a problem because you start getting all these parasites. And then when you treat yourself, so let's say I did it once and then I decided, oh, I don't know about that. And then 30 days later, you decide, well, okay, I should do it again. And then you do it again 30 days later, and you get this incredible, like sneezing nose and wheezing nose and all that. Well, what's happened is this. You treat the parasites at first time. You kill the mother parasites. Now all these babies have hatched out and you've got a huge parasite load. So when you wait too long and you get more and more hatching out and you treat them again, now you've killed all these parasites. Now you get a huge die-off and you get a histamine release. You get what they call a Herxheimer reaction.
So there's the reality of it, and I need you to get this. I mean, how many times do I have to repeat myself? You know what? I had somebody come to me because, we are in Ixtapazihuatanejo, Mexico. We're in the United States and we're in Canada. That's where all our clinics are. And understand something right now. Somebody came to me and said, you should sell ivermectin. We can make so much money. And I go, it's a drug. Yeah, but I know, but it's the best parasite killer in the world. And I said, listen to me, listen. If you're in an emergency situation and you're trying to save a life, yes, ivermectin. But the reality is guess what? It is not a health product. It's an emergency product. And understand this, it's still a drug. End of story. Okay? And then ask Judy Mikovits what she thinks about fenbendazole. Okay, so I'm not telling you not to do these things, but what I am telling you is this. The environment dictates who lives there. The environment dictates what lives there. And understand something, everyone. 99% of the population have parasites. They're infested with parasites. 99% of the population. All because, guess what? You didn't listen to me and do daily cleansing tea and black gold. And I'm going to explain, if you actually did black diamond and you did those three things and you just did them every day as a maintenance, if they're not costly, you would never have to worry about parasites again. If you learned other things from us. Whether you decided to go and download the pdgfree.com guide and start researching to become your own healer, own practitioner, or go into my bhnapp.com and watch how to become number one at the art of number two, how to go watch Spoiled Rotten, go watch the domino effect of healthy living. Give me a break. Okay, most of the population, and I mean most, 99% of the population have parasites. And a study was just done, okay? And whether you want to believe this or not, okay, are you ready? Only 2% of the population have more than 5% of lactobacillus bacteria or bifidobacterium bacteria in your bowel. You're supposed to have 85% good bacteria and 15% bad. So understand, these people are all on the edge. How many are on the edge? 98% of the population are on the edge, okay, of becoming so sick, because the large intestine is the holy grail of everything. And that is where the parasites start in most cases. But understand this, parasites will come to any area or any tissue, okay, that has an environment that the tissue is decomposing. Whether you're talking about a human being, or you're talking about roadkill, or you're talking about someone that is so sick they can't get out of the bed, or they're in hospice, or they're in a hospital because of some condition, they're parasite ridden. Whether you want to believe this or not, 50% of all tumors, all tumors, are just big parasite stacks. And that's the truth. Now, people say to me, parasites caused my illness. No, they didn't. They're opportunistic. So when the vibration comes down, when you get low integrity in somewhere in the body, guess what? Your body will actually go from the invisible to the visible and create worms. The fungus will be created from the yeast. And the good bacteria will go to the bad bacteria. And then guess what? You've got a parasite party where you've got a manure pile. Look at, I just want to have logic here. That's all I want. So if I had a manure pile and I dumped it right in the middle of my BHN studios here, and I were to tape off all the windows and the doors, and I were to pick out all the mold, the fungus, the bad bacteria, and the parasites, and I did that, and they're all gone now. They're gone. And even got all the eggs. I know you're not going to believe this. The next day, you'd find more parasites. Isn't that something? Parasites are actually created by the body when tissue is decomposing. I'm going to go through the products that I would use, and I'm telling you that whether it takes a year, 10 years, or 20 years, people are going to look back on my work, and they're going to go, he was absolutely right. Why are we always running to the fire? Why are we always become a 911 emergency? Because we're all drama, trauma, kings and queens. We don't know how to look after our health. We know very tiny about our health. Listen, most of the natural health practitioners do not know what I'm talking about here today. Talk to any of them, they'll tell you, well, we should do a parasite cleanse every 3 months, every 6 weeks. Okay? And understand something. If you own pets, you got parasites. But you wouldn't have parasites if you did what I actually ask you to do. So isn't it great how we always run to the fire? Okay, and isn't it great how the medical system always says, don't worry, we'll keep an eye on this for you? And understand something, any dis-ease will be a parasitical problem, but the parasites didn't cause it. It was the actual emotional and physical poisoning that you did that you didn't know you did because you were programmed all your whole life to be dumbed down, to be indoctrinated like everybody else, so nobody has a clue. Okay, I'm going to talk about this one more time. The reality is every cell in the body, if you are perfectly healthy, has 0.04 volts. And when the voltage in your cells drops, so does your oxygen. And guess what every parasite is? Anaerobic. It means that it can survive off of no oxygen in your body. Well, you know that. Look at the roadkill. It's not alive. There's no circulation. There's no oxygen left. And the longer that it's like that, the more infested it is with parasites, bad bacteria, fungus. Are you with me? And we're not going to talk about viruses because they don't actually exist. They don't exist the way that it's talked about. So here's the deal. You got 0.04 volts in your cells, and every cell is a battery. And when that electrical conductivity drops by 15%, you have a GPS that comes and says, pain. Pain is an alarm system that says you are not loving and caring for yourself. And just so you know, the majority of you will never love and care for yourself. You've been taught that it's selfish. you're conceited, okay? And you're forgetting all the rest of your family because you're not suffering on an emotional and physical level for everyone, when now you're minding your own business, and the only way you can truly help someone is become what you're trying to sell to them. You can't give what you're not. So the reality is 0.04 volts in every cell because we're batteries. When that electrical conductivity comes down by 15%, alarm system called pain goes off. So guess what? What do? Well, you ignore it by eating, or by toking, by smoking, by doing prescription drugs to numb yourself out. There's not a drug that's ever healed anyone. Thank you very much. Okay? All it's done is just buy you some time. Okay? And guess what? I mean, the drug industry, they say that, come to us and you'll never have pain. Well, guess what? You better believe you'll have pain. You're just going to go to a stronger drug, and the drugs all create an acidic environment, which causes what? Eats up the oxygen, and it causes dehydration of your tissues. That's why you have to have a hip replacement. That's why you have spinal surgery. That's why you have a fibroid. That's why you have a tumor. That's why you have a cyst on your ovaries. I could keep going. That's why you have calcium deposits in your breast, or you have a gallstone in your bladder, okay, gallbladder, or you have calcium stones called kidney stones in your kidneys. Are you with me? Okay, so the vibration comes down of the electrical conductivity by 15%, and the oxygen travels with it. So now you're 15% running deficit of oxygen. So now we've got the pain. The pain comes, it's a GPS, and right behind it, if you don't understand that you are not in alignment with loving and knowing how to care for yourself. That's right. Then what'll happen is, then we're going to drop more. Once we drop down to 25% in electrical conductivity and oxygen, okay, all right? Because they go together, remember? You're becoming more anaerobic, the cell is anaerobic. That means not needing oxygen. Parasites start to move in. Okay, once it goes down to 35% decrease in electrical conductivity and oxygen, guess what? It is a parasite party. The bad bacteria, the fungus, the worms, the laying of the eggs, the worms are throwing up inside of you. They're actually, they're vomiting inside of you. They're also pooping inside of you, which is not a cool thing. But the parasites actually came because of the decomposing tissue. They don't come unless your tissue is decomposing or it's on its way out. But even though it might be just one place in your body, eventually that spreads, right? It's a manure spreader, okay? So now, what we've got, 35% decrease in oxygen because of 35% decrease in electrical conductivity, and that's what the medical system calls cancer, because it is stage 4 inflammation, maybe stage 5 inflammation, and it just keeps growing because of infection. That's it. That's it. So you've been poisoned, and now you're malnourished. And everybody's malnourished because only 1% of the food can even be calculated as real food in a supermarket today. So I need you to understand something. You're never going to get ahead of the game. If you don't want to work with me, find somebody that you trust that's going to give you a perfect day scenario that keeps your vibration, your electrical conductivity up, because that's what it's all about. And when you don't have enough oxygen in your cells go, oh my God, there's not enough oxygen for us to survive. I don't want to die, because your cells have the same personality as you do, and you don't even understand that your personality is killing you. And understand, if you, whatever your prominent dominant beliefs are here, they're in your cells too. So if you don't want to change up here, you're not going to change down here. But here's the deal. So Dr. Otto Warburg, he received the Nobel Prize. I've talked about it many times, for discovering the cause of cancer. 35% decrease in oxygen, which is 35% decrease in electrical conductivity for more than 3 days, causes the cell to go into survival mode and says, oh my gosh, look at all the lactic acid. And the more acidic you are, the more worms you have. The more acidic you are, the more fungus you have. And the more acidic you are, the more bacteria you have. And everybody says that worms cause cancer. Well, they'll definitely enhance it. They'll enhance any disease. Bad bacteria will do the same thing. It's called endobacterium, which is very toxic, all right? And that's why people with all these kidney problems have what's called E. coli. Where do you think it came from? A dysfunctional bowel, which I told you is the holy grail of healing. So now, guess what? You're anaerobic. Those cells are anaerobic. They don't care about oxygen anymore. There's not enough oxygen. So now the parasites come to the area, and the cell's living off of lactic acid, and it's producing a lactic acid because now it says, this is what we've become, and this is how we can become stronger if we produce a lactic acid, and that's going to spread. And that's how they say that cancer spreads. Well, I don't believe that cancer spreads because of cancer cells. I believe that it spreads because of the infection, the low oxygen, the low electrical conductivity, because inflammation spreads, because inflame, it's like a fire. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If you don't want to create a perfect day, you don't want to have a perfect day diet, plan, lifestyle, that's fine. But you better take a look at protecting the Holy Grail, which is your large intestine, and because that's where it all starts. And whether you want to believe this or not, the yeast in your intestines will change into fungus, and they're called drill bit predators, and they drill holes right through your large intestine. And that's what leaky gut is called. And there is no, okay, autoimmune diseases. The body would never attack itself. God, the creator, would never have done that. And all it's doing is attacking now the parasites, but it's actually attacking the poison that was in the cell that caused the electrical conductivity and oxygen to come down. Anybody would like to challenge me, feel free to do that. So now I'm going to talk about what I do and what I would do if I was in your situation. And that's this. First thing, whether you want to believe this or not, and I don't want this to sound like a commercial because it's not a commercial. I've had this product on my shelf since I was 32 years old. It was made by a master herbalist. And what we do is we actually energize this product. People have tried to duplicate it. They haven't been that successful yet. And that was when I was 32. I'm now 67 going on 68. This here is called Daily Cleansing Tea. Tastes like iced tea. People love it. They actually love it. It actually supports the large intestine, liver, lungs, okay, kidneys, lymph system, and blood. You take it twice a day. And understand, if you don't want to fortify your large intestine, then just get ready for the bumpiest ride you ever had. Most natural health practitioners have never talked about and don't even know how to talk about what I just talked about with you. They haven't put the pieces together, but now I'm hoping they listen to this and they learn the truth. So daily cleansing tea is taken in the morning, taken at night. Not a big deal. It even tastes great. Okay? Now, at the same time that you do your daily cleansing tea twice a day, you can put in black diamond. Okay? Now, black diamond, oh, and by the way, the daily cleansing tea, let me just say this, has no laxatives, no stimulants. That means it can be taken morning and night, daily, forever. And you're only supporting these organs and making them stronger. Okay? If you don't believe me, wait till you see the symptoms come down. Just this alone is going to bring your symptoms down by 60 to 85% minimum. Okay? Now, that is to lighten the load on a toxic level. Remember, if we can get rid of the manure pile, no matter where it is in the body, we first have to get the cork out of our butt because the tub drains from the bottom up. Did you get that? Lighten the load on a physical level. So now we're going to start lightening the load. And whether you want to believe this or not, 92 to 96% of the population in the United States of America is overweight or obese. Okay? And understand something, 99% of the population in America has parasites. And if you own pets, you'll always have parasites and always be doing parasite cleanses unless you do what I'm telling you right now. You have no idea how much pain and suffering and symptoms you'll prevent by just doing a little, an ounce of prevention, it's worth a ton of cure. Understand that. This is called black diamond. This is a pure concentrated humic fulvic. We get this out of Drumheller, Alberta. It's the richest humic fulvic in the world. Humic fulvic is actually, plant life that's hundreds of thousands of years old. Now, it actually has high vibrational minerals, nutrients in it, but that's not the thing. You've heard of charcoal, you've heard of diatomaceous earth, you've heard of bentonite, you've heard of shilajit, you've heard of, it'll come back to me in a second, zeolite. None of them can touch this. Can't even come near it. And I'm actually going to put a scale plan together to show you the difference. This will hold 300 to 400% in weight in heavy metals, parasites, got that? Parasites, okay? Fungus, okay? Chemicals, all right? So this is the best detoxifier for the cells, the brain, and the blood. And all you're doing is 1/8 to 1/16 of a teaspoon, a minimum of twice a day, and you might need to do it more, okay? So it's called Black Diamond. This here is called Black Gold. It does basically the same thing. Oh, and by the way, the Black Diamond, which I just had here, this one right here, Black Diamond, I hope you know something, that it'll drop off 40 micronutrients into the cells and then load itself up 300 to 400% of toxins. But you won't experience any negative symptoms. How about that? Because it locks it down. No other product does that. It locks it down and then takes it out of the body. All right? The Black Gold does a similar thing, but from the mouth to the rectum. But here's the deal. It does the same thing. Heavy metal detox. Better than anything else on the planet. You know, people say, I just went intravenous heavy metal detox. I went intravenous to get rid of the fungus. All right? And understand something, everyone. Working on the blood, are you crazy? It's in the tissues. It's in the tissues. And if you work with the Black Diamond and the Black Gold, you're going to spend less money. And I'm telling you that this is, you just do these things and you are going to be parasite free. Understand, there's always going to be heavy metal poisoning for hundreds of years because of what they're doing to us. Okay? There's always going to be tons of chemicals everywhere because of what they're doing. I mean, this is called the greatest harvest that we've ever seen of people. And the reality is the parasites will come if your electrical conductivity drops. And that means even whether it's on an emotional, guess what? Just be stressed out for a few days or traumatized and then drain your electrical energy and see how that works for parasites. Okay? Now, the Black Gold, so what? You're taking minimum a teaspoon twice a day in a blender drink or stir it and drink it. Okay? All right? And it's more granular. So from your mouth to your rectum, it's going to do the same thing. Heavy metal detox. It's going to grab the parasites, the parasite eggs. It's going to grab the fungus. It's going to grab the bad bacteria. It's going to lock it down. It's going to drop off 40 micronutrients in there. But when it gets to here's the most beautiful part. When it gets to your large intestine, it will reinstate mother's bacteria, which is the only bacteria that counts in the human body. It's the only one that counts. Everybody's coming out with all these bacterial products. Well, you can forget it. They are not going to stay there because they're alien. Black Gold, okay, it's going to go into the large intestine and it's actually going to reinstate your good bacteria. And you can take 1 teaspoon 3 times a day. When I've got people in a chronic situation, they take a level tablespoon to a rounded tablespoon 2 to 3 times a day. Watch how fast people turn around. And for the money you spend, it's perfect. So understand, I'm not putting down ivermectin or fenbendazole, but just remember something, you're going to have all these dead soldiers lying in there, rotting in you. If you weren't doing daily cleansing tea, Black Gold and Black Diamond, and at least opening up the portals, okay? That is totally, totally important. And those of you, it's called daily cleansing tea caps. There's no stimulants, there's no laxatives. You can take this daily, but these only work on the large intestine. The daily cleansing tea, it will do all the detox organs of the body, and it will. It'll do all the detox organs of the body. So we want to make sure that we're always doing daily cleansing tea at home. Support that human body of yours, those cells. But guess what? When you can't, you want to do daily cleansing tea caps. Lori and I, we fly a lot. Okay, we're leaving. Boom, capsule goes in. We land, capsule goes in. I don't have to have a grumpy, you know, my grandmother used to say, Daryl, your grandfather's not grumpy, he's constipated. And that's the truth. You know what, when you miss a bowel movement or you don't go for a day, where do you think all the low back surgeries come from? Because you rotted out. Where do you think the cysts come from? Where do you think the infertility comes from? Where do you think the endometriosis comes from? Where do you think bladder infections come from? Where do you think prostate problems come from? Where do you actually think, okay, that you have thinning of the uterus or you have thickening of the uterus? Where do you think that, I can say this, 98% of all hip surgeries are caused because you've been pooping in your pelvis. And between the pooping in the pelvis and the rotting out, you are rotting out. Your core is rotting out. Okay? The parasites are continually throwing up, okay? And they are pooping in you. And once you actually have the yeast inside your large intestine start drilling holes through what they call autoimmune disease, those parasites get through the holes because you have tight junctions. When they open up, guess what? You just opened yourself up to what they call autoimmune disease. But guess what? The body's not attacking itself. Your immune system's going after the invaders. So now all hell breaks loose. So you need to get the cork out of your butt. And I'm going to say one last thing here, and that's this. Please, everyone, you know what? You can tell me that you're filtering your water, you're doing whatever you want to do. Structuring your water is the only way that you truly protect yourself. You know, once you structure water, okay, the heavy metals, the chemicals, and even the parasites, okay, I know you may not believe this, but we are light energy, magnetic frequency beings. And it changes the vibration, even if the toxin comes in, and it makes sure that it comes in and it leaves the body without being introduced to the body to cause trouble. And structured water hydrates 1,000% better. Do your homework. It's called fourth phase water, okay? Last thing I'm going to talk about is this, your liver. Your liver. How many of you own a car or anything? Do you what? Change the oil maybe 3 times and the filter 3 times a year, maybe 4 times a year? You know what? Most of us never ever detoxify our liver, or we buy this product that people say it's going to cleanse it. The only thing that will cleanse the liver, you know what it's called? It's called the Ultimate Coffee Enema, okay? So here is the Ultimate Coffee Enema bucket. This is actually Doc of Detox green, organic green coffee bean, okay, ground up. And understand something, everyone. Caffeine is not addictive. Only poisonous, chemicalized, sprayed beans, when you try to come off of coffee, that's why you have the headache. Nobody would have an actual headache, okay, if they actually just drank organic coffee and they drank it in structured water. I'm just letting you know that as a side note. So we're going to take the stainless steel bucket, the organic coffee, and remember the black gold I said that you do orally? Well, guess what? You're going to put that in with your Ultimate Coffee Enema. Does anybody know why? Because when you start doing the Ultimate Coffee Enema, what happens is the green coffee, actually the caffeine in it, there's what's called the portal vein just 3 inches inside your rectum. That coffee and caffeine goes to your liver, causes your liver to contract, and it dumps out everything, the sludge that's been in there forever and a day. Wait till you see how your energy levels come up. Wait till you see how your bloating comes down. Wait till you see how your digestion, your thinking, your clarity. I could keep going. But here's the deal. If you did not, okay, make your Ultimate Coffee Enema coffee with black gold in it, guess what? Everybody has autoimmune disease. They put glyphosate in every processed food. That's called Roundup, which causes leaky gut, leaky brain. Okay, so just so you know that. And it actually alterates, it causes a deformity in your yeast, okay, to actually fungus, to your good bacteria to bad bacteria, okay? And it actually helps to create an environment so the worms can grow. So when we do this, not just orally to create a new environment in the large intestine, but when we do it in the coffee, it will suck up the chemicals, the parasites, the fungus, the poisons, and the heavy metals. And guess what? It locks it down and it takes it out of the body. And the good thing about this, it works different than everything else. In humic fulvic, which this is a humic fulvic product, the black gold, it actually will lock down the poison, and even when you poop it out, it'll never put it back into the environment. And just so you know, we are the only company that actually process our humic fulvic, okay, black gold, black diamond. We also have another product that's called fulvic concentrate for people with heavy metal poisoning and high acidity, and it comes in the 2-ounce jar. And then we have another product called humic acid, which is amazing against viruses. And then it also helps with weight loss, and it also helps with hormonal balance. I don't care what your hormonal balance problem is, it's going to come in and help balance it. Now remember, if you don't have a really critical or severe situation in those things I just talked about, you know, the black diamond and black gold will do it for you. And just a maintenance of the black gold, black diamond, daily cleansing tea, I'm going to tell you that is foundational, okay? I want you to try it, and then I want you to call me. My number is 469-861-8884. And then guess what? After 3 weeks to 6 weeks, write me a testimonial, okay? Or come on my show and talk about it. You have no idea the power of this. So let's keep it where we're not running to an emergency, spending tons of money. You know what? If you had a perfect day on an emotional and physical level, where would you be? Well, you wouldn't be unwell. And understand something. The large intestine is a compost. What you put in here is going to decide the compost. And a lot of us don't even know what a good diet is, less a great, perfect day diet. So the reality is this. You know what? I do this every day, so please don't think that I am getting you to do anything that I don't do. So you think this is the mainstay for me. I'm going to keep doing this. It makes me feel and look amazing. I'm 67. I'll be 68 in just a couple of months. The reality is you can turn back the hands of time. You can lose the weight. You can reduce your symptoms. You can have the life that you deserve. And that is the God's truth. Okay? So just understand, everyone, that guess what? End the Parasite Party with the Perfect Day Protocol. Download pdgfree.com and then download my bhnapp.com, and then guess what? Dive in there like your life matters. Dive in there like you actually love the 50 trillion cells and the 500 trillion bacteria that came together as a community to love you, to care for you. And understand, I'm going to say this really lightly. Your whole life has been about, if you truly were to do the things that actually loved and cared for your body, there's a subconscious belief in here in everyone that you're selfish, you're conceited, you don't care about others. Understand, you can't give what you're not. All right? If you really want to help your family, your friends, then you've got to help yourself first. You can't give what you're not. If you were healthy and vital on a physical level, and actually understand this, everybody has been indoctrinated from the moment they enter the womb until the tomb to be what? Emotionally immature. What if you were to calm down, connect to your lion heart breath, put a slight smile on, practice the love band, life band, practice the mirror work, practice that slight smile no matter what the world's doing, and mind your own business. Guess what? You'd be a Braveheart, and you'd be a hero in my books. God bless everyone. 3, 2, 1. I know you got this.